Hey, hi, how are you? My name's Felt, and welcome back to Magic the Gathering. Today we're going to be talking about a blue-white control deck that's general purpose is to play around Urza's Lord Protector, but that's not the end goal of the deck, it is just a possible top-end combo. I'm going to be talking mostly about the new cards in it, so that this video stays a little shorter. If you want a full deck list, it should be in the description, as well as some cards in the sideboard that are options that I think you could try out in the deck, but I didn't find great success with, or just alternate counterspells that I think are pretty powerful, but I prefer the ones that I chose. Let's talk about the new cards first. Lay Down Arms. Oh boy, this is a good card. Exile target creature with mana value less than or equal to the number of planes you control. Its controller gains 3 life. On interaction, the Tri-lands from New Capenna are truly Tri-lands. So if you have Spar's Headquarters and Rafine's Towers, consider including them in your mana base because they are technically speaking planes and they have blue mana on them as well. They come in tapped, so they're better earlier, but if you already have all the mana you could possibly need on board, you play them tapped, all of a sudden Lay Down Arms is hitting something that could be 7 CMC or 8 CMC in place of just like 5 or so. Destroy Evil, Fateful Absence, those are classics. Soul Partition, another actually new card. Exile non-land permanent, for as long as that card remains exiled, it's only way to play it, but it costs 2 more to cast. Really powerful tempo-based card, because unlike Fateful Absence, which will just like remove the card and give your opponent a chance to draw for 2 mana, Soul Partition just makes them replay it for 2 more, which is a different style, but it's really powerful tempo-wise. It can be a really great 2-drop when you are going to counterspell them on turn 3. Speaking of counterspells, Urza's Rebuff is a new counterspell. It is 1 and 2 blue for countering any spell. That includes creatures, that includes enchantments, that includes planeswalkers, that is literally everything. Or tapping 2 target creatures, which is a really powerful alternate cost effect for a world filled with monocolored aggro. Urza's Rebuff is really good. Everyone knows Disappear, everyone knows Celestis, everyone knows Memory Deluge, Silver Scrutiny, somewhat new, draw for X cost. Fun fact, cost reduction cards apply to Silver Scrutiny's X cost. So, Urza Lord Protector, 1 less to cast. Silver Scrutiny's X cost, you can cast it for 1 more mana than you have, for example. So say you have 4 open mana, Urza Lord Protector makes it cost 1 less. You can cast this for 5, even though you only have 4 mana, because Urza gives it a 1 cost reduction, which does apply to the X cost. And for Urza's Planeswalkers, -2. You could play it for, if you have 4 open mana, you could play it for 6 mana, because technically you are reduced that cost, which does apply to X cards, at least in Arena. Top end Planeswalkers, everyone knows Wandering Emperor. God, she's so good and omnipresent, but I can't stop using her. Teferi Temporal Pilgrim is a new card, very good with the card draw synergies we have in the deck from a couple of our top end cards, as well as just being a really good onboard threat. Adjust the number that you want as you choose, but it is a 5-drop, which is a little hard to get out in some super aggro matchups, and you might rather just run a couple less and run a few more removal spells. Farewell, it's insane. Amazing board wipe potential. Reminder that Farewell exiles stuff in order if you choose everything. So for example, if you have creatures or planeswalkers trapped under enchantments, you can just do everything in order, and it will exile in order artifacts, then creatures, then enchantments, then graveyards. So when the enchantments get hit, all of your creatures could return to board without getting hit by your own exile effect. Very useful. Talk a tiny bit about Mightstone and Weakstone. It's kind of bad. 2 card draw for 5 mana is pretty bad. -5 for 5 mana is also pretty bad. You can tap it to pay for stuff like Celestis activations or casting the Celestis in the first place. Overall, it's kind of hard to fit in the deck, and mostly you're using it to meld Urza. The 2 mana from it can be used to help the Urza meld cost, which is nice, but Sideboard, just some cards that I think could work in the deck. Run as many copies as you wish, edit as you wish. Same with the mana. I highly recommend running 3 copies of probably both of these, because cycling them for cost will trigger stuff like Teferi, which can be very useful. I still recommend running at least 8 planes though, because that way you can hit 8 CMC cards on just your planes alone, if you're not running Rafine's Towers, Spar's Headquarters, yada yada. This video will include some gameplay after this, some from my stream, some from stuff that I'm getting post-stream. Either way, thanks for watching, and like, comment, subscribe by the end of the video, or something like that. That's what all the cool kids say nowadays, right? I hope to catch you in the next one. Alright, future me, you better edit this down well. Let's see if we can make this Urza deck work in a non-on-stream setting. What the fuck? Oh, come on. Right. Okay, this is much, much better. Lay Down Arms is a solid turn 1 play if my opponent plays a 1-drop. Great turn 2 with Make Disappear or Destroy Evil. Turn 3 if I draw. Mishra's Foundry, huh? Also getting another Plains here means I can hit a 2-drop, which is very good. With Lay Down Arms, mind you. Great card. Great card. Interesting, going for the play with fire. I'm going to guess they're mono red aggro. Which does mean I'm just going to hold up Make Disappear here. Because it's just the play. Like I said before, this is just a control deck. More than anything. So we're playing it like a control deck. Unfortunately, yeah. I could have held up Destroy Evil, but I can still Destroy Evil on their turn. Or on my turn, sorry. Or... I think the better play is actually... I think the play is pass. Then I gain the life. And then I gain the life. Thank you. And I destroy evil when they play whatever their next card is. Depending on what it is. This does allow me to use Lay Down Arms on whatever other cards they might be playing. Taking out the Thundering Raiju is great because it keeps my life total high. Let me do some math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shoot. If I draw an untapped land, I can play both Mightstone, Weakstone, and Lay Down Arms. Which is pretty nice. I don't know what type of interaction they're holding up, but it's fine. This might seem a little weird when I could just hold up Wandering Emperor, but this gives me tempo. Because they only have one card in hand right now, this gives me a lot of tempo. To just take control of the board state, and just be sitting here with tons of open mana. Well, okay, sorry. Not open mana. Tons of mana. And then, like, a Wandering Emperor in hand. Whatever they have in hand is probably like a burn spell, I'd assume, with how hard Prio is being held up. Just gain the life. And pass the turn, because this is a control deck. I wonder how Soul Partition interacts with Mishra's Foundry. I don't... Alright, hang on. Let's do the, You can't pay that. They're going to swing in. I'm going to surprise chump block with Wandering Emperors. 2/2s. You might think that exiling is the play to keep the life total high, but actually in this instance, it's play a chump blocker because it allows me to get out another chump blocker.
Let your blade do the
I could also technically just Soul Partition them. But I feel like into what is clearly a mono-red aggro deck, I want to hold up Soul Partition for their Mishra's Foundry. And I gain so much life off the Celestis because of multi-spelling. Which is really nice.
guards to me.
I could use Mightstone and Weakstone to trigger Celestis, which would be cool. And see, now they're just holding up priority because they have Mishra's Foundry. And because I didn't play anything, I get to trigger Celestis. I'm gaining more life. You're seeing how this deck works now, right, dear viewers? I wait to see what they do to make a decision in response, by the way. Because if they activate Mishra's Foundry, I think I hit it with the Soul Partition as the, like, smarter play, because I believe that means they can replay the land for 2? But that's a really big tempo play for me. If they swing in with this, though, I just hit it with Soul Partition. Because I don't want to have to, deal. And I can't replay it this turn, which is nice for me. And then, I don't know why they keep doing that. How much mana do I have? Yeah, that's what I thought. I can only draw 2 with Silver Scrutiny, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty good draw 2. Ooh, that is a very good draw 2. And the opponent concedes because hardcore blue-white control is really good right now, especially into mono aggro. I don't think they got a great draw, but I also got a really good draw, so it goes both ways. Trying to go for some nice, solid gains here. Got a pretty decent game against mono red aggro so far. It's pretty good. God, I hope I don't put these up in a mismatched order. That'd be awkward. I go first, making this hand a lot better. Because playing a tapped Deserted Beach is a lot better when you're on the play than on the draw. I have 3 lands, meaning that I can play Urza's Rebuff on curve, I can play Fateful Absence on curve, I get an extra white, I can play Wandering Emperor on curve, I can play Silver Scrutiny on curve to draw if my opponent is playing something weird. Fateful Absence is really good early because if your opponent has limited mana, it means that you have to decide between doing a play and letting a Fateful Absence, they have to decide between making a play or drawing a card, and while drawing cards is very advantageous in Magic the Gathering, it's not, that advantageous when you only have, 3 mana on board. So having a Fateful Absence is a little bit better early. It's the clue token. It costs 2, so it's pay to draw. They probably think I have a counterspell, by the way, in case you're wondering why they're pausing. Joke's on them! I can't play my counterspell until next turn! Alright, well, it's kind of unfortunate that I drew both of those, but it's fine. Speaking of pay 2 to draw a card that I didn't include in the deck that could fit is Reckoner Bankbuster. We do have Urza's Rebuff just held up now, which is just going to be really, really strong. I'm confused as to why... oh, it's a Gix deck. That's cool. It doesn't do anything if I just kill it, and I think just killing it here is the better play. Especially if they crew their Bankbuster to attack. I get to kill the Bankbuster? Oh, I'm so glad I didn't do the thing. Okay, so I have 2 options here. Well, first of all, I play the Plains. I got 2 options here. I either let it go, and then use Wandering Emperor to exile, or I just exile this turn. I think I'm gonna go on the aggressive route and just exile their Gix of this turn.
Anyone who harms my people
Because they
must
have,
contend-
while
I am almost sad.
it's a case of I do have Urza's Rebuff to play counter magic, but I have a Fateful Absence to play on my turn. So it's a bit of a 6 of one, half dozen of the other IMO. I think if I was playing true hardcore control and wanting to really control the game, but see, that gets out their Soul Transfer, so now I don't have to worry about Soul Transfer anymore. Okay, well, I do have to worry about Soul Transfer, but they missed a land drop and they didn't use their token to draw. You do not get to play that card. Thank you, come again. Because I still have removal, I feel okay playing that. My opponent is missing land drops with 6 in hand. If that's all they play, I just kill it. I think we just kill it. Little bit of a weird, risky play, but I think just killing it's the right play. We'll find out if that was a right play in hindsight. They're probably desperately trying to find a 4th mana to play Shieldred right now. So they're probably not going to level it up again? Oh, they're just going to play another Reckoner Bankbuster. Interesting. Let's just draw 3. Which does allow me to do this, which is pretty good if you ask me. They have lots of card draw available, but remember when I said they have no mana?
The entire multiverse is at stake. I won't back knowledge. It's meant to
We have Urza's Rebuff as a counterspell to keep Teferi safe right now. They finally hit their 4th land! I feel a little bad, I'm not gonna lie. Because we have just been hardcore controlling this game from the get-go. But that's fine, and it happens. And I don't care. I mean, I do care because it makes me happy. Wow, they run multiple soul transfers. That's funny. Most people only run 1 soul transfer in their deck, by the way. That's why I'm saying that's funny. Let's just draw a card.
much to consider.
Kind of an anti-synergy with Urza and Memory Deluge, but I don't care. So I can use Memory Deluge to look at the top 3 to get 2 cards. They have lots of card draw right now, which is great for them. Great. But they're in a really bad spot. So I have a really interesting choice here. And I think I'm going to make the weird choice. The weird choice is to destroy the Bankbuster instead of Shieldred and hope from Memory Deluge I find more removal for Shieldred. Let's hit the Memory Deluge first and we'll make our decision from there. Okay, well that cements my decision in stone. We kill the Bankbuster and we eat the 2 damage. Because I can play this and then just kill Shieldred. Fortunately, I do have to hurt myself once. Do that, do that.
I've got eyes everywhere.
And yeah, that's game over. As you can see, blue-white control, very much alive and well. For those of you wondering, yes, this is, as you can see, this is Diamond. And don't get me wrong, I played around someone who had very little mana. If they'd gotten more mana and gotten Shieldred out earlier, this game would have gone very differently. I wouldn't have been able to bait out soul transfers so soon, but it happens. Sometimes you just get mana screwed. That was a pretty good display of what this deck can do in that type of situation. Let's maybe try and get one more game in this video. I had a game on stream where I actually managed to meld Urza that'll probably be included as the last game, potentially, depending on how I edit. Once again, on the play, Fateful Absence in hand. This is really, really good, in my opinion. Because it allows me to play a tapped land on turn 1, play into whatever they're playing on turn 2, and allows me to Fateful Absence them pretty hardcore. And because Fateful Absence tempos... Yeah, okay, looks like I might be a mono black gamer. Fateful Absence does tempo really, really well. It's not. Wow, I am surprised it's not mono black. Legitimately surprised it's not mono black. I don't want you to have that. I don't want them to gain life. They're going to move to equip it. I'm going to kill on the trigger. Because it can't attach to anything, it doesn't actually bother me. I can Silver Scrutiny for 2, play Wandering Emperor on my turn. I'm probably going to play Wandering Emperor to start building a board presence to be an annoying little jerk. Yeah, especially if they're spending half their turn drawing. Or, well, half their mana drawing, I should say. It does say when the creature dies. So Lay Down Arms does hit it.
I'm not overconfident. Keep
without a
watch
care
for
in the
intruders.
world. Let's just make more stuff. They might run board wipes, but
To me.
Meat Hook doesn't exist anymore. Thank the creators above. I could hit that with Soul Partition. I think I will if they try and attach the thing, but not otherwise. Yeah, I'll hit it if they try and attach it, but otherwise it's not great for me to hit something like that. It's better to just let it go. But because they want to attach this and make it a bigger problem. Interesting.
Remember your training.
Creature or Planeswalker is the big for me. They attach it to my Wandering Emperor, that's a bigger problem. They attach it to Teferi, that's also a bigger problem. I'm probably just gonna kill it and then try to tap out my Emperor to make a bunch of 2/2s. It doesn't hurt me that much, though. That's an interesting decision. It's not what I was expecting to see, and I don't think that's the right play for them.
Miss me.
I really don't think that's the right play for them, but what do I know? I can just sacrifice this now, I'm pretty sure. So I lose a life, but I just sacrifice it. Right? At the beginning of your upkeep, okay. Weird choice in synergy here, but... kill off their thing, and then I still get to play a Celestis. Swing for 5. I just sacrifice the thing to get rid of the effect. This does leave me kind of open to counterplay and effects, but I don't know if it's that big a deal. That's weird, but not a huge deal. I can just go ahead and meld him. And then make, like, 4 soldier tokens, which I think is going to be the play here.
My tactics are automated battalion, advance.
So I'm just going to make a giant pile of creatures here and just chump block. They're probably going to, yeah, so they're going to attach it to the Phyrexian Missionary to go for extra life gain. But I do kill this thing. I do kill this thing. Oh, they're going to take their whole... they're going to take their whole turn, getting rid of their #1 source of life gain to kill Urza off. Which is interesting.
Success is built up.
I mean, like, I don't hate that choice from them. They don't really have great plays here? I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong. This is an interesting deck for my opponent. I'm, like, kind of impressed. However, I do just kill both of these things now. Do just get to play my Teferi and have a counter
No
man.
matter the time or place, I'm ready. Nobody knows the past better than me.
I do have 2 chump blockers and a hardcore counterspell, which is quite useful. Yeah, okay, they're probably going to equip this, sacrifice. It's a sacrifice-themed deck, which is interesting. No, you don't get to play that. Try again. They're probably going to equip it to one of their flesh takers, yeah. I don't know why they didn't attack there, but okay.
Now that is an interesting fact.
So I'm going to use this to draw 2, I think. So I think card draw is really... Wow, card draw is really important there. Holy shit. Okay, it all worked out in the end. They're probably going to sacrifice something for card draw again, but I do still have Urza's rebuff up, but I don't want to play it unless I have to. You have to do that twice. If you want to do that, you have to do it twice. They do have the mana to do it twice, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to make them do it twice is the thing. I'm going to force their resources out of them. And by resources, I just mean their Rite of Oblivions. Wow, that's what they did instead. I am shocked, honestly. I am unironically shocked that they did that, because they're not in a good spot. IMO. This is a 7/7. Okay. Okay, I think they got the memo now. I can now -2 to Fairy to make another.
It's nice to see a familiar face.
Alright, math. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can draw 2 with Silver Scrutiny. So, let's do math. That's 4, 6, 9. Yeah, okay. This thing can attack and they can't. They have to jump. They cannot stop it. Stop it. And I now have 2 Wandering Emperors on board, which is good. I'm sure they're going to equip, use Rite of Oblivion, yada yada. If they hit this with Rite of Oblivion, that's a little strange, because I can just make another? But, you know, I guess, you know, you do you, buddy. I guess they just really want that card draw, and they maybe are going to hunt for more removal? I find it weird that they wouldn't try and hit the Teferi, who is, like, about to ultimate. Let's get rid of some life gain.
Ready to lose. You're done.
Instant speed removal? They're just gonna pump this, right? Alright, I guess math is hard for them. Because I don't have to do anything about Teferi.
Oh, you caught me this time.
I mean, he's fine. I don't think they have a... Let's say just creatures in graveyards, because that gets rid of some of their crazy recursive threats. I don't really care about the artifacts. It's still going to the graveyard, buddy. And then it's going to get exiled. Okay. Make a thing. Plus on said thing.
Strike fast and strike hard.
Okay. Interesting choice. And they're going to equip it, yeah. Now you're going to play some spell. And you're going to get to draw 2. It's going to be so crazy. Oh, they don't get to draw 2. Okay.
May your blade strike true.
Who's that handsome devil?
But where are you going? We were just getting started. I kind of zoned out at the end of that match, I think, a little bit. I was just... what I was going to do was create token, draw, cycle out the Tranquil Cove, and hunt for something that would actually give me an advantage in this matchup. I think hitting their graveyard and then hitting, like, their biggest things and getting around their 2 different Rites of Oblivions really made them throw in the towel. That was a really solid, like, controlling game for me, where, like, they had a lot of stuff going on, but they never really hurt me. Like, I had more life than them by the end, and I was still making more and more threats. Like I said, though, as you can see, like, Urza's good. He does make stuff happen. He does force out responses, too, but the Fairy and Wandering Emperor still exist, and they're still big threats. But, like, getting stuck on 4 lands, I feel like there's a fine line between, like, oh, I'm getting super unlucky, and maybe your mana base needs a little bit of work. Even on a deck that runs that low, you should still probably run more lands than what they were doing. It's not even like they were, like, running out of lands or any, like, cycling out lands to try and get to drops. They were just like, soldiers. It's not, like, the best turn 1 play to just drop a Rafine's Tower, but I don't have anything until turn 2, so... Besides, in the Soldiers deck, there's nothing you need to worry about in turn 3, because the replacement for Luminarch Aspirant is a 3-drop. I think. I'm like 60% sure it's a 3-drop. If it's not, that's on me. That's my That's my, mistake. They're gonna play, the Flash Speed 1/1 plus 1/1 token. Just wait. Now, do I counter that, or do I hold off? I don't think I counter that. I think I hold off. Wow. I am like 90% sure they had Resolute Reinforcements and just didn't play it. Oh, I guess they're playing a wedding announcement on 3. Well, you can't have that either. Unfortunately, I do need to play out an extra blue source here. I need to hold up Urza's rebuff. I need to hold up a counterspell, because if they play like their powerful 3/4 drops, I just lose off the rip. Whereas if I can start holding on to turn like 4, 5, 6, I'll probably live. I'm astounded they don't have like a Resolute Reinforcements that they're gonna play. No. No card draw, thank you, come again. On this next turn I have 2 choices. I can either my turn Wandering Emperor, or I can just wait out the Wandering Emperor. It also depends on what I draw. If I draw another counterspell, I might keep holding. Oh, that's really good. That means I want to play out another Plains, though, and not my beach. I think because I got that, I'm now less worried, because I can kill stuff of CMC 3. Potentially CMC 4. I think I just exile this, by the way. Save myself some life.
Feel the energy of battle, then guide.
It's a 4-life
like
swing,
water.
technically speaking. Interesting choice. I'm still gonna get rid of one of your cards, but interesting choice. There's no point in plussing her. I don't have a way to defend her.
Let your blade do the talking.
I do this so I can draw 2. They've gotten very land flooded. Very unfort. Okay. Why would you think I wouldn't do this? I'm assuming you have like a pump spell or something. No, you're just trading. Okay. And we just draw 2 because we just need something in hand. Really good draws. Really good draws right there. Mightstone's fine. Mightstone can be an answer if something gets onto the board. These keep stuff off the board in general, though. Really good draws. I'm very happy. We let that hit the board and then we see what else they're playing, because there's... Is that literally just like their only... Okay, well, we're gonna kill it then. Okay, we need to do some math though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lands. They're just gonna draw with it, right? Either that or they just don't realize that they have. Alright, well that made the decision for me. Let's make sure it does that. So I'm making sure that I'm paying with the colorless mana. That makes Urza's rebuff only cost 2. I could technically play this, but then I can't play this. And I think this is more important to have up and available. There's like a 50-50 shot of it being fine to play the Mightstone Weakstone, but it's my entire mana base, and since I'm trying to play a control strategy, I think it's better to hold up the rebuff in case they actually have something I give a fuck about. Right now, they haven't shown me anything that I should give a fuck about. It's been pretty not great. I mean, like, it's good if it gets to combo off, don't get me wrong. No. Oh, did I do math wrong? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I only have 6. Damn, that's unfort. That's funny. I'm pretty sure they can't even play, like, half these cards. Yeah, they don't have the mana. They can play, like, a recruitment officer. Okay. Let's just go ahead and meld them. Let's just draw 2, discard.
Summoned me. You are outwitted and outmatched. Each device has a role in my plan.
Gain some life. And be mostly fine. Also, I got to meld Urza again! Poggers, 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 poggers! Giga poggers! That's bad for me, but like it doesn't cause a problem until next turn, and I can draw 2, discard twice. And I have 2 lands to dump. And Urza is 8 toughness. And I have 2 1/1s. If you want to kill him, you should probably kill him.
Victory at
I have enough blue mana already. I'm actually going to do that. Because that allows me to play Silver Scrutiny for a super high... Because those, like, minus X effects do work with Silver Scrutiny. It allows me to easily draw 3 cards for, like, 3 mana. Actually, I can probably draw 4 cards and still be fine. I don't want to do that with Memory Deluge, though, because Memory Deluge depends on how much mana you spend to cast it, which is why I'm using Silver Scrutiny. Ah, man! I wish I'd had Teferi before I did that. Oh well, I'll just hold up Wandering Emperor. Soul Partition is also pretty good. Actually, you know what? Hang on. I could Soul Partition before their instep. Yeah, let's leave the stop there and go... Wow, that's just unlucky. Yeah, let's hit their Soul Partition, or Soul Partition their thing before their instep. Also, if they both swing... Yeah, okay, here. Because I don't want them to get the instep trigger. And they, like, especially since they tapped out like that, they now, like, can't replay it, so... Also, I can ultimate Urza. Bye-bye.
Mishra!
Alright, Urza, calm down, buddy. Mishra! Let me play my Teferi. I don't... What are they holding up that costs mana, by the way? Like, I can't fucking tell.
I'm ready to win. It's nice to see a familiar
Also,
face.
draw 2 discard with both a token and him out. Oh, no, 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 no. I think we hit the point where we just discard Memory Deluge now, but... Okay, good game. To be fair, the guy kind of fucked out of mana. Which happens. That, I can't imagine they're not playing enough lands in that deck, right? Like... Ooh, we're on the play. And we have a pretty decent 10-2, 10-3. Well, turn 2 is hold up, destroy evil, but turn 3 is just play Celestis, which is nice. Play Beach and be like, oh, I'm gonna be slow, oh no, ah, it's so terrible, ah. I mean, it's not like they're gonna play anything I can interact with anyways. Okay, red could be Izzet, could be Jeskai, could be Gruul. Probably screams aggressive. We just play Celestis here, because it allows us to play Wandering Emperor next turn without getting a land drop. I think we drop a Destroy Evil. I'm really surprised that an Izzet deck... Oh, it's Grixis! We have 2 choices here. We can either play this and try... Let's see if they play Counter Magic. Let's just find out if they play Counter Magic.
Now you've done it. Hat's coming off.
I always find it so interesting when people, like, try and target the Wandering Emperor immediately when she has, like, Flash the turn she comes in. Alright, well, there's 2 pieces of removal. Alright, they're clearly playing Grixis Control. Decline. Play land. Pass go. Decline because I just don't care. Yeah, I don't care. I have Memory Deluge and Soul Partition. Why are you doing that on your upkeep? That's so fucking weird, man. They've also hurt themselves more than I've hurt them by like a large margin. It's quite amusing. They have like nothing. High Imp. High Scrutiny. I think we just say draw go here. I guess they're playing some form of weird Grixis control deck. Hang on, math 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Feel the energy of battle.
This targets tokens, and because it exiles them, they don't really do anything. Fun fact. Play Urza simply because he's good. He's a good on-board blocker. Oh, they're Arcane Bombardment. That's cute. I can play this for 1, 2, 3, 2? I can play it for 2. Which is worth.
The entire multiverse is at stake. Knowledge is meant to be shared.
We've got the edge in this fight.
Pretty worthwhile. If they have another burn down the house, I'm in a little bit of trouble, but I'm not super concerned at the moment. Alright, well, they can't play burn down unless they got a land, so that's good. Malevolent Hermit.
Watch out. I never give up. I have got new moves to teach you.
Now that is an interesting fact.
Interesting. In this instance, we do go for the cycle, because card draw good for my people. Let's hunt for a counterspell. Ooh. Oh, baby! We got two. Sorry, Urza. That might just be GG, because they just paid 4 mana for nothing? But we'll see. We'll see. Actually, I take that back. They paid 4 mana to discard a Thirst for Discovery. Non-creature spells you control can't be countered. Okay. Good game. I'm not gonna lie, they didn't know it, but I was gonna lethal them next turn. So I had Silver Scrutiny, and this was a 7/7. I think I had lethal. Because that's +1. That's +1. And then I could have drawn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Another +1 from Urza. Could have drawn 8, which would put it to 15. +1 from Teferi. +1 from Wandering Emperor. That's 17. And then another one from drawing for a turn. Yeah, I could have had my Spirit have lethal. I could have just killed them with my Spirit. They didn't know that, but I knew that. And that makes me happy.